And welcome back. We are right back into it today. Day 4 matches. We've got lobby 2 for the next 2 games, C versus D. And right off the bat, we're finding a nice yellow orb pickup. So looking at the results, Loopy, some of the teams we talked about in this lobby actually are really showing up. CSM Apex being one of them. They actually won game 1 and they got second in game 2. So they're doing pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, that was a team that didn't necessarily show up for the first day. They didn't even play the first day. And then I think the next week that they showed up, they had a bye, and then they've played 2 weeks. This will be their third week in a row. So for them to really not even be around for a majority of the tournament due to a bye and just not playing the first week, and to be holding their own at the top of the top 20, really is a testament to just showing, like how some of these teams, might necessarily been showing up the first couple of weeks, in KP and placement, but now that they are on the field now in the final week, they're really starting to show what they're made of and give some of these other teams a run for their money. As we see, coming in third place on both matches was Action Pact, another team who was riding in the top 20 that just needed to kind of stay there. They didn't need to do a crazy showing. They just need to get placements and maybe a few KP and they'll still stay in the top 20. But taking a look at this lobby and looking at the map right now, we see teams are fairly spread out. They are definitely not wanting to take any huge risks here, just looking at what we have here. Maybe down here in sorting facility, we have two teams that are real close to each other that might go off real soon, RIT Black being one of them.
Yep, and like you were saying, RIT Black very much in the same position as CSM. Oh, but here we go, fight breaking out right as I say that, and they're gonna have to clutch it out. They actually they tied for, I believe it was 8th place in game 1, and they ended up coming in 6th in game 2. So they're right on the cusp, right? We know that these teams need to perform right now more than ever, and they're so close. I believe before the start of today's matches, they were in 20 seconds. So RIT really probably has to get something like a top 3 here or get a really bloodthirsty game in. But so far, no blood to be had as all 13 teams are still alive.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And you're right about the RIT and CSM being essentially in the same position, 21st and 22nd respectively. So they're really looking for kill points and placements just so that they can launch themselves over the teams that didn't necessarily perform very well today or that weren't playing today and aren't going to be able to make up points to stay in the top 20. So, Jazz is also right next to RIT Black, so it looks like there are a few teams in this area. And as we say that right now, there's a crypto EMP goes right off, right on these teams.
And good information found there. Jazz might want to push this, and I think they're going to have to. It's a good amount of damage going in, and I think they're actually fighting against RIT Black.
Yeah, I think you're correct on this, and our observers are going to go ahead and give us an awesome panoramic shot to see how those teams are stacking up against each other. You see two players on top of the roofs, able to get those shots off on the guy on Jazz, who's got the low ground, really. You can see they're feeling it. They don't have good shields. One's down. Emperor's almost down himself.
And Jazz Cabbage opts for the reposition, and it looks like he might have to say goodbye to his teammates and maybe attempt to rat, or maybe not. He is getting pushed really hard here by the Bloodhound. He actually opts to go away from it, and he's going to get pincered by 2, and that is going to be the Elim onto Jazz. Emperor Noah is still up. He's going to find some damage here, but it won't be enough. And that is Jazz getting knocked out by RIT Black. Right as we're talking about it, 2 teams in a very similar position. RIT clutching this out, incredibly important. And now they have quite a bit of loot to enjoy as they are actually the first team to find kills for this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they came in like a bat out of hell. The Bloodhound was just sliding and just giving them all sorts of terrible angles to try to defend. And even though they were able to get that res off, it looks like right here, Edinburgh is right on top of Action Pact. And if any of our viewers know, Griff Riri with Action Pact is a fan favorite as he's been able to take on several teams solo by himself with his team And New Jay as well is also a really good player. So look for this matchup right here. Action Pack versus Edinburgh, two very evenly matched teams who are right on top of each other and know where each other are at.
And here we go. The fight breaks out. Griffrey actually taking a huge chunk of damage. They are able to attempt an escape here on the zip line. Still going to hurt quite a bit. Lots of shields going down, but they do survive. I'm wondering if they want to chase this or if they just want to reposition.
Yeah, Edinburgh definitely. I wouldn't know what to call on this. Part of me wants to say, like, listen, there's not too many teams in this lobby left right now, and then I would almost say it might be worth going for the KP on this just because of how spread out people are, and it seems that that's what they're wanting to do. I think that they are very confident in their abilities right here, and just realizing that there was only 2 blue shields and a white shield on that team, that might be what you want to go for, but. Taking the zip, and there's someone there.
Yep, they are able to find another squad. They are doing quite a bit of damage here. Their shields are cracked, but so is the enemy team. Another good bit of damage. He is facing a purple shield here, though, and it's going to be tough. Glow opting for the redirect, and now he's trying to find a different position. Is able to get a shield bat off. That's going to be all 3 shields back up for Edinburgh, and this should probably be a cleanup.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think the other team has enough time to really put down their resources and survive this, but it looks like they're going to hold them off a little bit longer.
Yep, they're doing their best to hold down this building.
Yeah, Edinburgh is definitely playing this pretty cautiously, stack a couple guys on the door and then just kick it down and fire away, but they definitely seem to play this more cautiously. I don't know if they don't want anybody to go down. They don't want to get a third party on them because the more time you spend fighting these guys, the more likelihood for another team, as we can see, is starting to show up, and they want what is going on right here. So we may be seeing a big battle start to show up right here.
And finally, they're pushing into the building. They do take a good amount of damage. Edinburgh here going for the reposition with the portal. They might be able to make it out here, but there is definitely one squad in and another squad coming, and it is actually going to be a state.
Yeah, and
another
holding
party
good position
actually
on top of the building. Really, just need to watch a kill feed on this and just start to see as some of these people go down, like what's a good time to push in and finish up this third party.
Yeah, it looks like there's another group pushing from tunnels. So we have Edinburgh pushing, or rather defending from the low ground. We have A-State who's trying to pick up the high ground elsewhere. It looks like Edinburgh does hold down a building at the very least, and this is going to be damage going down from Glow. So they have ability to defend.
Oh, that's a cheeky spot.
Oh, that is spicy, but it gets scanned out immediately. It looks like Bruins A is the other group that is joining the party. They're trying to spot them out here. Charge rifle finding a lot of vision. That's going to be 30 damage. Not tons, but now they most definitely know that they're there, and they are willing to attack. Bruins A possibly looking to wipe both. We'll see.
Yeah, Bruins A is a very, very tough team to go against, and Leads Up is kind of known in these lobbies, for consistently running the charge rifle. As some players are able to realize that certain weapons are really annoying and good at just draining resources. The charge rifle being one of them, because it's hit, scan, point, and click. It does a lot of damage if you just hold on target, and you're able to just destroy shields if you keep it up. But they are taking a very good angle on Edinburgh, but it looks like it wasn't able to get that gas trap up there. But the angle that they have right now on Edinburgh is very good, very good. The sniper up top and 2 guys down low, one of them being a caustic, so they're able to scan and trap Edinburgh in here. If Edinburgh doesn't make a move soon, they're going to get pinched real quick.
And look at how much Bruins A is willing to just open up their angles. They are not just stacking right on top of each other. Right there, they had a good amount of distance between each other to make sure that they're covering every angle. In these third-party situations, you need to be watching every side, because you never know when the team you're watching is actually just going to get you killed because another team comes up behind you. Super, super important. Here we're going to reposition our cams a little bit to see you gold. Trying to maybe find some high ground. It looks like Bruins A has peeled off of this fight. They don't want to take it. They don't need to. And obviously, Circle is coming through. And once again, another bit another late rotation. I have a feeling there's going to be some fights breaking out as the circle closes, and there's going to be a scan. They are detected. This is Edinburgh Esports. Let's see who they're fighting here. They do take the second floor. But it
looks like Edinburgh. There's a guy on top of the building that they're on right now. Yep, and that is RIT Black. He's definitely one of the more challenging teams in the lobby that they're going to be fighting against. So it's really about what position they take. Do they want to hold this building, or do they want to try and hurry up and get out? Because this fight is about ready to break. You know, this is not something you want to be sitting around for too long right here. And it looks like Glow is going to go ahead and portal out, get different position for his team, take some shots from inside the building. Oh man, downs one guy. Great
huge damage. Yeah, that's actually going to be Spilly XOXO going down for Edinburgh, but they did get a good amount of damage. Right as I say that, the Bloodhound walks in with the shotgun, manages to knock one, and that's going to be a tough situation. Glow trying to retreat, but the other exit is covered. It looks like it didn't commit to a fight. There might be another squad here. I'm not entirely sure by RIT Black. I think Ginger just missed it. Oh, and this is going to be Ginger going down.
Yeah, I think this is a third party. It looks like another team has come in to clean this up and take 2 down. Glizzy is going to try and finish up and get some KP, but he couldn't make it over the ledge.
And it's actually Bruins that cleaned up that fight.
Yeah, and very close to them is CSM as well. So, of course, we have a few teams in here, and also we have... Yep, CSM is coming in the building, going to get cleaned up. Orion goes down.
Definitely not lost here quite yet, but it's looking a bit dire. Bruins pushing in with this Thermite, find a ton of damage, clean up Orion, and now it's going to be the 3v2. Aether does have the red shields, and they're looking mighty well kitted to take this fight. It looks like they might just have to try and peel and hope that with a duo they can find some placement points towards the end.
Yeah, this is definitely just a smart play. Just get out of there while you can. Part of me thinks that there might be one person who is still down. I wasn't sure if Edinburgh, one of their guys was cleaned up or not, but I do believe Low is still alive, and they might have been able to go back and pick up one of their guys. Either way, we definitely have less teams now. A few fights popped off. Really nothing too crazy. There's still 9 teams left in these next couple circles as Ace takes some serious shots.
Swiftlax did not appreciate that gunfire, but there is the bubble, and they're getting pushed on all the way. The ult comes out from Nuke Dualis, trying to reposition here, getting on top of the rock, is able to scan them out. So much going on as the ult comes down, and it's actually Bruins that are coming up behind them.
Bruins A is just going to come in and clean them up.
And so they're going to be able to find the kill here onto this team, but they have another team to contend with, and they're willing to take both on. They clean up the first one, and now they have to be prepared to take on the next, unless they already took it. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, there it is. And the caustic canister coming down. The zoning here is awful. There is the trigger on the gas, and it's going to be, excuse me? CSM Apex with some high-octane gameplay. You see what I did there?
For a second, when we switched to that, I definitely thought Octane was flying.
Yeah, I was wondering like what they might have taken a balloon or something. I don't, or maybe just Octane.
I'm not really
things.
sure how he ended up in that situation, but it was very hilarious for a quick second.
The action-packed 3-man is taking some gunfire here. We're down to 8 squads. Finding some damage against a blue shield, no less.
Yeah, really rough position to take. The favorite spot kind of here, Refinery, where there is less, openness. I say like a building you can hide behind, doors, crates, that sort of thing. There's none of that out in the open where they are currently positioned, and they're in the low ground right on the edge of the ring. It's looking like some of these teams are going to have to rotate right now real quick to get to high ground to set themselves up. There are quite a few choke points in this area.
Yep, and we see Penn State White, which we actually haven't taken a look at during this game. It looks like they found another team to take a gunfight with. I'm trying to reposition here. They do have a decent position in circle. I feel like they have some semblance of a high ground, but it's going to be tough to get into the next one. They're going to have to fight through these valleys, and there are a lot of squads. They might be able to get a free rotation here as a fight might break out here soon. Bruins A does have zone. They are able to spot out those Watson gates, and the charge rifle looking out for anyone to kill or anyone to run away from. I honestly don't know at this point. Action Pack still holding this terrible position behind the cargo crate. This is going to be really tough.
Yeah, you're right. And they have to run uphill too, like on this rotate. I mean, really, they need to get in front of them, but in front of them is Bruins A on the top of this ridge. And then on the other side of the ridge is a team that is at the top of the tower. And those are two really good spots for, two teams, one having a Watson. So it's going to be really difficult to get up top if Ring does happen to pull there. I'm not so sure it will, but I think Bruins A is probably in the best position as, they've got eyes on a team in the rock across from them, Action Pack directly to their right. And then right here, we're getting a very nice panoramic shot of who they were shooting at. The team's on the rock right here. As we start to see in the next 10 seconds this ring close in, this corner that we're taking a look at right now, I assume that's probably where Action Pack might want to push up to. But along the way, they're definitely going to take some heavy fire. It's going to be rough for them to make this rotate.
They're just in zone, but they do know where the enemy team is. They're taking so much fire. They are going to have to find something here. They are going for the aggressive play. They know they have to. They know they have to reposition. That's going to be a Bloodhound on the rock. Doesn't find tons of shots with the Skull Piercer. Wingman, that is a little bit of damage going down, but it's going to be a very close fight. The sonar detection is there. Very much no shields to be had on this team. Griffrey trying to reposition, gets knocked down. That's going to be DC Borg trying to clean up the fight. Shotgun versus Shotgun does find one more kill, and I think they might have been able to win that fight at the cost of two of their teammates. And that is actually huge, because that means that they get a much better position here. They don't have to push this rock. Meanwhile, Bruins A getting pushed up from the bottom. Even with caustic tanks, the team they're fighting is not afraid to go up against Bruins. They're trying to reposition here. Shield cells going out. That's actually going to be Penn State White fighting on this rock. They're pushing up. They're fighting a lot of damage here. PSU Emerald, no shields left. Good fight here from them, but it's looking really tough, and that is so much damage coming out from Bruins. They're not going to be able to take that rock. The king of the rock remains Bruins A.
Yeah, as looking at their damage that they have taken, their damage that they output, I mean, they completely just kicked that team off the rock and just smushed out their push. I mean, they did not have any room to breathe on that, and they just cleaned it up.
Cool. Sweet. Okay. Gonna count us in. Oh, we're live. Oh, we're live as we, wow, well, we picked up at a very hot spot here. 5 squads left. We're watching Young Money Militia holding down this tower. We just watched Bruins A take a huge fight against PSU. This final circle is going to be insane, and it looks like this tower is a great spot as they pick up one more kill. Still 5 squads, though, so they didn't actually clean up the team.
Yeah, definitely. Young Money Militia got themselves into a fantastic position, and it's just terrifying because I don't think anybody really knows that there's 2 of them. Just seeing all of those Watson fences is enough to kind of scare some of the other teams, but they are making a full send push right here, going to go for the quick and easy shield swap and maybe fight some of these teams that are dueling it out up top.
And that was actually Bruins insane. That almost looked like they were able to clear. Their spot got cleared out by another team so that they could land with Zipline. Here, Bruins A taking another fight. It looks like it might be against CU Gold here.
Yeah, and this is now we're in the top 3, CU Gold, Bruins A, and I think there's one other team somewhere. Oh, now we're down to 2.
Brutal. Grooven gets taken out, so it looks like it's the 1v1. Bruins A, full red shields, tons of grenades. This is going to be a really tough position for CU Gold to win. There is the insane amount of thermites. They're shielding up, but it probably won't last here too long. That is one down.
Yeah,
that
Bruins,
is two
got
down.
great angle on
and
that.
one more to clean up for the win. That's going to be Bruins A taking game 3 of Lobby 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Bruins A just really coming in strong in that game. I guess just essentially being in every single fight that we were observing, they came in at some point and just kind of cleaned it up. They did work, and for one, Led Zepp was just able to decimate every team he saw from a distance, really rack up damage with the charge rifle. It's something he's done throughout this tournament the entire time. Absolutely fantastic. And then from there, they just played King of the Hill on that ridge. They were kind of in the middle of the ring on the side and just able to push out every team that came up against them and get the KP that essentially looks like they farmed the whole lobby, and then just be in the right place at the right time and clean up the third party.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, in that top 3 situation, we saw Young Money Militia with a great position, but then they didn't have final circle. They knew they had to rotate. CU Gold, a bit pinched down behind a rock, and honestly, like, what can you do at that point against Bruins A? They had perfect positioning. They were there early on the rotation. That zip line was doomed from the start. As soon as they moved over, they were completely cleaned up. And at that point, I mean, 3 red shields on Bruins. What are you going to do? Just a quick note to everyone watching. We should be back on stream for the rest of the matches. Well, the one match we have remaining. So again, apologies for the technical difficulties, but let's take a quick look at our current top 20. We have some strange scoring going on. That's just 13 teams. Right. So CU Gold picking up second, Bruins A first, CSM Apex actually picking up third. So it was actually the Rat from CSM Apex, their last solo, that's able to pick up a third place, which is really important, right? We've been talking about how CSM Apex needs to show up today. They need to show up today and put up points. They didn't get a ton of KP, but they did get those placement points, and that is super important. Young Money Militia picking up the 4th place and action-packed with the 5th.
Yeah, absolutely. On CSM, like saying, at the beginning of the day, like they need to do work and they need to show up, because of all the adversity that they had, not playing in the first week, not playing their second week because it was a bye, and then only having 2 weeks before coming in today, really showing what they're made of. They've got first in the first game, second in the second game, and now in game 3, they've secured third place. So they've gotten quite a bit of placement points alone today, and sitting at 21st place, which I believe is where they were. That's probably going to be enough to get them into the top 20. So really, really showing what they're made of today and doing a lot of really good things in game and setting themselves up for placement. I mean, taking a look, their first game they got 6 kills, second game they got 2 kills, and this game they got 3 kills. So aside from their first game, getting a good amount of kill points out of it. Sorry, that was 11 points in their first game. But I mean, just really showing what, that they're versatile. They're a really good team. They're really starting to show some really good tendencies that, maybe being thrown into the top 20 lobby, next week will really show, what they're made of.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking about some of the teams that really needed to make it. RIT Black is doing their absolute best here to get into some of these top spots, and we know that they were in the same position as CSM, but unfortunately they actually dropped down to just a 10th place finish. They still pick up 7 points off of 5 kill points, but at the same time, they are not looking like they're in the best position right now. They're going to have to put up a great game 4 if they expect to stay in contention for the top 20.
Yeah, absolutely. Another team that might be on the edge. I haven't been able to look at the points, but just looking at some of their placements early today, Edinburgh in the first game got 12th. In the second game, they got 4th. In this game, they got 11th. So that's another team that, sitting in, I believe, the top 7, top 10s where they were. They could afford to lose a few points today, but again, this is a lobby where teams are really starting to make up some of those losses. And if Edinburgh doesn't step on the gas right now, they may see themselves out of the top 20s, but we'll see when the final tally comes out. Again, they could be fairly safe, but it just really depends on how some of these other teams who are quite surprising today show up and play in this final game.
Absolutely.
But for now, I think we're going to take a short media break, and then we will be right back with our final game.